Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 news. We've got some patch notes already for what they're calling the Festag update. The update that's going to be coming out before the end of the year, so let's go ahead and jump into it here. So the Festag update is going to Festag Update Beta. Sorry, this is not being released to the general public quite yet. It is going to be in beta first, and they'll provide some instructions on how you can opt into the beta for those of you interested. First of all, this is primarily going to be retooling the character skills for the red skill trees. They'll be comparable to their New World counterparts. Numerous tweaks and changes to their existing skills. Character mounts have also been standardized. That's good. And a balance pass. So we'll be looking at the balance changes, of course, as well. Lots of bug fixes, including a crash that occurred when the Vampire Coast faction owning Pirate Coast was destroyed. And yeah, so that will be definitely really good. I've had a few crash to desktop issues, which is why I haven't been playing campaign much on the channel. So with that being fixed, hopefully I can jump into a campaign with all of you. Let's see here. So instructions. For those of you who want to opt into the beta, help creative assembly test. The instructions are here of how to do so. Of course, I'm going to have a link down in the description below to this page so that you all can go check this out for yourself. Moving on here, they've got this table, which I'm not going to go through I'm not going to take the time to go through right now. So again, you guys can go and check out this yourself, but it has like all the skills and stuff, different factions, what they're going to be getting, so definitely check that out. Let's go ahead and move on. You can see they've got a list of a lot of the skills here. They're, moving skills from the red tree to the yellow tree, just in general. Yeah, gonna be interesting. Miscellaneous skill and trait changes. So Beastman Lords now have 4 skills. I'm just looking to see if any of these apply to multiplayer. I want to say that they're all campaign abilities, but let's have a look here. Let's see. Increased Gorst unique skill unlock rank to rank 12. Ah, okay. Okay, so a few changes to the vampire count bloodline skills. That's interesting. Keep in mind, guys, as well, that these changes, when we get to the balance changes, again, this is going to be in beta. This is not full release, so these things could still potentially change. And I highly recommend you guys go download the beta and give your feedback to Creative Assembly in an appropriate way. Let's see here. So mount ranks. You can see they've kind of been standardized here. Light Armor Steed rank 4, Armored Steed rank 7, Chariot 10, Flying Mount 12, Large Vehicle. Large Vehicle. I'm guessing that's like, what, the Chariot of the Gods, or like Volkmar's Pimp Cart or something? Anyway, Large Monster, Flying Monster, same thing for casters. Spectator Mode, they have fixed a few things. You can now add AI players. Spectator hosts can invite players. Spectator hosts will now also be able to use the spectator controls, which is good. Players now connected to a spectator host can see the ready status of the host. Interesting, so you can ready up as the host. Yeah, lots and lots of crash fixes. Harkon no longer has +2 pirate crew recruitment, unfortunately. Yeah, just all the bug fixes here. We're not going to go through too many of these, but just looking to see if there's anything particularly for the battlefield. It mostly looks like campaign bug fixes, but hopefully there have been some battlefield tweaks as well. Moving on, let's see. Yeah, here we go. Battle changes. Fix the crash that would occur when a player tries to connect as a spectator. There we go. Battle of Eternal Tides onto the custom battle map selection. Nice. Celestra Dyphin's Slaughter of the Deep ability now works correctly. That's good. Female fleet admirals now have skirmish, so the ones with pistols now have skirmish mode. Let's see. Dreadlord animations, yeah, that's more for campaign. Deployment zones were the wrong way around. That's good. That's good that that's been fixed. And the buildings outside of playable area will no longer float. That's good. This is definitely a good thing. Let's see, miscellaneous changes and fixes. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Moving on to the really important stuff here. We've got quite a few balance changes to go through, so let's start jumping into it with Bretonnia. So, Green Knight hit reaction chance has been increased from 0 to 50. So essentially the Green Knight had no hit reaction ignore, so he could get stagger locked really easily compared to other characters. So now he has a 50, whatever that means, hit reaction ignore chance. He also has 50 interrupt chance, going from 0 to 50 again, so he himself should be able to stagger people better and hopefully won't get stagger locked as easily. He's also getting more AP and base damage, so a very nice little buff for the Green Knight there. Already a pretty decent character, good in some niche situations, but now he is going to be significantly better. Pegasus Knights also increasing their mass from 700 to 1,000. Is a huge buff for them. Pegasus Knights' biggest issue is their lack of mass, their ability, they have a really hard time to pull away from engagements. Even with just light infantry, they can sometimes get bogged down, so a mass increase is very welcome for them. Knights Errant also get a +4 charge bonus along with the Defenders of Fleur-de-Lis. I am a huge fan of this one as well. Knights Errant, super cost-effective low-tier cavalry. +4 charge bonus for them, not a huge change, but enough to make a little bit of a difference. And again, they're already a reasonably cost-effective low-tier Shaw cavalry unit, so with that +4 charge bonus, they'll just be that much more better. Grail Relic also had its leadership effect. The radius has been increased from 40 to 55 meters, so a little bit wider area of effect on that Grail Relic. You don't have to keep yourself quite so tight. Dark Elves, the only change is that the Charybdis is now aquatic. Oh man. Oh geez. Well, aquatics is wildly OP, so there we go. Alright, and for the Dwarves, Thane now has access to the Master Rune of Slowness in multiplayer. They took it from the Master Engineer and gave it to the Thane, so finally he has a proper replacement for his, whatever, it was the, sword of... I'm forgetting now. The one, Tormentor Sword, that's it. Finally, he has a proper replacement for the Tormentor Sword, making the Thane a little bit more useful again in being able to be a control-type character, help control the pace of the battlefield. Master Rune of Slowness doesn't do that much. I think it's like a 12%. It's also a melee attack debuff, if I remember right, so just generally having the Thane be a better support character is very welcome. Empire, moving on to my favorite faction. Just a couple of quick changes here. The mortar has reduced in cost by 50, which is definitely a very good change compared to the Vampire Coast mortar. The Empire mortar was just sad sack droopy drawers, and it just did not really pay out most of the time. So minus 50 cost, definitely going to be decent. I still think the Vampire Coast mortar is going to be superior because of that extra powder ability, but still, you may see more Empire mortars from here on out. And Flagellants, the strength of the Penitent ability that they have, physical resistance has gone from +12 to +15. Nothing huge, but it does help a little bit. Green skins, let's see here. So the Crimson Killers got +20 unit models only on Ultra. What? If that's only on Ultra, that's got to be a mistake. It's got to be +20 men on every... Because if they're increasing the number of unit models on Ultra, then they would also need to increase the number of unit... I'm not really sure what to make of this. We'll have to wait and see, but regardless, the Crimson Killers need some kind of buff. So I would definitely like to see this applied to them. 150 cost wouldn't be great, and the rest of those debuffs isn't necessarily the best, but +20 extra unit models would definitely be helpful. Let's see here. Azag can now also equip the Spider Banner in multiplayer. I know they flip-flop back and forth whether he could take that or not. They originally had him have it, and then they gave Manticore's poison attacks and took it away. Now it looks like he's going to have it back so that he can get poison attacks while he's on foot as well. So definitely a nice little buff. Nothing crazy for Azag, but a nice little buff nonetheless. High Elves. Alistair the White Lion is not in multiplayer, so we're going to go ahead and ignore that completely, and just, if anyone from Creative Assembly is happening to watch this, please add Alistair to multiplayer. Variety is the spice of life, and having a White Lion Lord, an AP Foot Lord in multiplayer would be excellent for the High Elves, so please, get on that, Creative Assembly. Anyway, moving on, Lizardmen. The Solar Engine is slightly more accurate. That's it. Very nice. Moving on, Norska actually has quite a few changes, and I am very happy about these changes. Not a lot of them apply, but Ice Wolf Chariots now have 95 speed, which I am a big fan of. I like Ice Wolf Chariots. They're not super duper cost effective, but they can be very good in certain matchups, and increasing their speed is always useful. I think that makes them one of the fastest chariot units in the game as well, which definitely going to be a lot of fun. Champions and Champions with Great Weapons both got +4 health, which is great. Champions with Great Weapons also run a little bit faster, which is interesting. But just in general, more health for Champions is good. They're a little bit squishy for the price that you pay for them, so I'm definitely a fan of that. Kehaar the Tormentor, again, not in multiplayer. Siege Attacker doesn't really matter that much for multiplayer anyway, so Famir and the Famir Balefiend all got Siege Attacker, so big whoop. Skaven, because, Skaven are perfectly balanced, the only change they're getting is that Plague Monks, Censer Bears get +1 melee attack, so everybody calm down. I know, Skaven, wildly OP, but there you go. Tomb Kings, the only thing they have is the Tomb Scorpion has gained a hit reaction chance, an interrupt chance. It has had its mass lowered and -2 melee defense as well, so a little bit of a nerf for the Tomb Scorpion, a little bit of a buff. Generally, I think Tomb Scorpions are already very good, so there you go. Vampire Coast and Vampire Counts going to be getting the most changes here, so we're going to go ahead and dive into it. Deck Droppers all around have -10 flying speed, which is awesome. Deck Droppers are super annoying to deal with, and just in general, having them be a little bit slower makes them easier to deal with. Deck Droppers with handguns have less ammo, slightly reduced accuracy, less damage overall, so Deck Droppers get the nerf back. I'm perfectly fine with that. Bombers get +2 ammo. You never use them anyway, so whoop, big whoop. Bombers and hand cannons. Okay, so the bombers got more melee attack. They got more men on Ultra. Again, +40 men on Ultra. I really wish they would show the plus on large unit sizes, since that's what's in standard multiplayer battles. But whatever, they're choosing to show on Ultra here. I'm assuming that means they're also adding unit models on the other, levels of the game, but it's not really super clear here, so hopefully in the future that they'll change that when they do patch notes. But the hand cannons +50 cost, again plus unit models, more AP damage, so very good stuff. Animated Hulks get more armor, which is excellent. That's really what they needed, and melee defense as well. Plus +10 leadership, so really nice buff for the Animated Hulks. And they should be a little bit better now. You might see them more often in multiplayer. The Gallows Giant, I know, was a little bit bugged. Its projectiles would actually sometimes not make contact, so this is the Regiment of Renowned Necrofex, so now it's going to be much better. Shade Wraith Gunner's got a bit cheaper. A Death Shriek Terrorgeist flies a little bit higher, and it's wider. Interesting. The entity is now 57% wider. I don't think I've ever seen those words in that context before, but basically it's going to be a bigger target and harder to pull out of melee. Great. Harkon, same thing. Now uses the same entity size as a regular Death Shriek. It previously used a dragon size entity. Very interesting. Luther Harkon no longer has all hand sway in multiplayer. A bit sad, but that's okay. Aranessa also, they removed Hornswaggle from her in multiplayer. I'm not really sure. Oh, they removed Hornswaggle from everyone. or at least from all the admirals. So what, only Harkon will have Hornswaggle now? Interesting. I guess they figured it was kind of overpowered. That's not really the change I would have made to the Vampire Coast, but interesting. Solostra's Rotting Leviathan has Siege Attacker. Obviously, it should. Moving on. So, the Terrorgeist for the Vampire counts got the same change as the Deathshriek Terrorgeist. And the Blood Dragon. Here we go. Nerf bat time. Removed Undeath Resurgent ability in multiplayer. Awesome, 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 awesome. It's off to a good start here. Let's see. He's got minus armor on foot, on the Bard of Nightmare, on the Hellsteed, and additional cost. On the Zombie Dragon, he got less melee defense and additional cost. So, nerfs all around for the Blood Dragon. Very good stuff. The Red Duke now has Frenzy. And he also got a bit more expensive as well, and less melee defense on the dragon. Vampire, Lore of Shadows got a bit more armor. Lamian got a bit more armor. Let's see, White King got a bit more armor on the steed. Isabella and Manfred both got a little bit more armor on the Hellsteed, so that's nice. But just in general, nerfing the Blood Dragon, very, very welcome change. Moving on to the Wood Elves, again, Treemen now have a hit reaction chance, so they shouldn't get stagger locked as well. Orion gets more melee defense, plus 10 melee defense is a pretty big buff for Orion. He was already decent, not amazing, but that plus 10 melee defense does make him a lot more survivable. I am a big fan of that change. I do like Orion, so yeah, awesome change there, plus 10 melee defense. And for the Wild Rangers and Wardens of Kithral, plus 4 leaderships. They're a little bit harder to route off. Definitely a very, very good change. So yeah, so far so good. Lots of really good changes here. Nothing too out of this world, but for the most part, I agree with almost all these changes here. Let's look at the ability changes last of all. Helm of Discord has had a minus 10 meter effect range. I still think that the Blood Dragon Lord shouldn't have the Helm of Discord. Really think that they should take it from him and give him some other less useful items. That's just me, though. Dwarfs Red Ruin now has unlimited uses. The duration is slightly less, and it recharges in melee. Axe of Dargo lasts less time, but also has a much shorter recharge. And again, recharges in melee. Master Rune of Slowness is minus 18% movement speed, and it removed the charge bonus effect. So there you go. That shows you how much the Thane will be useful there. Spider Banner increased to uncommon, actually has a 30 meter effect range. Interesting, so potentially it'll be giving poison attacks to everyone within that area of effect, which you could potentially use with Azag with a with an orc build where you don't have a lot of poison from the goblins. Could potentially be a very, very useful ability there. And Grimgore, Gitsnick now lasts a little bit less time, but has significantly lower recharge, and again, recharges in melee, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but hey, there you go. Horn of the Wild Hunt now lasts a little bit longer. It does not have the speed effect, unfortunately, but it now goes 54% charge bonus. Holy guacamole, are you serious? 54% charge bonus. That means that Orion plus Bretonia in 2v2 is going to be one of the nastiest possible things that you can do, because think about that. Like, you have Grail Knights in Lance formation, you give them a 54% charge bonus buff? Holy cow, man, that's going to be ridiculous. Even just on Wild Riders, they're already rocking about 60 or so charge bonus. You hit them with that 54%, they're going to be up to 90 to 100 charge bonus? Like, jeez Louise, man, that's going to be awesome. Super excited about that. For spells, only really from the lore of vampires got changed. Drowned Dead now has more power cost. Probably a good thing. They should cost more than regular zombies. Invocation of the Heck doesn't last quite so long, so it won't heal quite as much. And the Denizens of the Deep, which is I believe the Rotting Promethean summon, is going to have a little bit longer recharge time. So, yeah, very good balance changes across the board. There are some things that I still would like to see more of, but overall, it seems like Creative Assembly not rocking the boat too much, just trying to bring the Vampire Coast, a little bit more in line, as is typical with, a patch shortly after a faction's been released. It looks like the Vampire count's also going to be getting the nerf bat a little bit there, so yeah, very good stuff. Overall thoughts, definitely glad that they're putting out, if they can be putting out balance patches more often, I will be a very, very happy camper. So personally, I'm very excited for this patch. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, though. What do you think about the changes? The fact that Creative Assembly is even releasing a patch this soon after the Vampire Coast gives me hope that hopefully we'll see more balanced patches going forward. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.